because we chatted already a little bit. It's this year.
Yes,
I need it.
It's recorded. Okay.
So, as I said to you before, this year we have a hospitality case, which is a very big thing for us. And I saw the case yesterday, and I was like very much impressed. First of all, I would like to thank you all for being here today. It's a big honor for our program, and as our main partners, it's really, really special that we have you. So I'm gonna introduce you now to the hospitality director, Monsieur Lomonier, and Monsieur Pignon, product manager, who are going to present to you the business case. Please listen with big ears, and at the end, we are expecting you to ask all the questions you have in your mind. And after, we can talk a little bit more together as a group. Thank you so much, please.
I prefer before, but maybe after you won't applause, I don't know. Good afternoon, everybody. We are very pleased to be here today, Antoine and me. So just to brief you a little bit, I'm Edouard Lomonier. I'm in charge of operations in hospitality. It's been like a bit more than 20 years I'm in Louis Vuitton. I'm a baby Vuitton. I spent all my career in Louis Vuitton, both in factory and in HQ. And Antoine in my team, maybe you want to present you, Antoine?
Sure, yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Antoine, so working with Edouard at LV. And I'm in charge of supply planning and IT development for the hospitality department. I'm not a Vuitton baby, I'm a Hermès baby. I worked 5 years in industrial for Hermès, and since 5 years again, now I'm working at Vuitton, mostly in a supply chain position.
Thank you. Well, this slide, you don't have to read it, but the main thing when you're thinking about Louis Vuitton, I guess, if you know Louis Vuitton, is bags. So you may wonder why Louis Vuitton is going to hospitality. This is like nice sentences for top management, so don't read it. The main thing you need to remind is we're here to offer to the customer an extended experience. That's the aim of the hospitality. At the end of the day, we are bag makers, we want to sell a bag, but we don't want just people to come and buy a bag. We want the experience to be like really luxury experience and to extend their time in the stores. Okay, so that's why we're here. Everything around that is to be cool, to be a bit more talking to young people in order to attract them and to rejuvenate the customer. It's after what now? The cocktail, it's right now? It will be cool, huh? Thank you. So as I said, maybe I will switch this one. I don't like this one. Sorry. The DNA of Louis Vuitton, since the beginning in 19th century, it's more than 150 years now. It's about travel. Louis Vuitton was a trunk maker at the beginning. With the development of all the ways of traveling, it's going from trunk to leather bags and bags for travel. We want to keep that DNA while we are speaking about hospitality. So everything we are doing is to make the experience also a journey with food, with culture, in order to become globally a house of culture. That's really the point you need to have in mind when you're talking about Louis Vuitton, is that we want to be the house of luxury, the house of culture. At the end of the day, we want to sell bags, of course, but just it's the conclusion of the experience. It's not the aim, okay? Hospitality there, as I said, in order to be a house of culture, it's made in order to serve and to contribute to the art de vivre of Louis Vuitton, so house of culture again, through different pillars. The main ones, it's about created a place of culture. So for us, it's more luxury cafe and library cafe, in which you can see here a nice example in Seoul we did last year. So all the cafe around is curated with local books, culture books, LV books. You can travel also with us with music in the cafe and of course with food. Okay. So why we're doing that, as I said, I'm sure you know these types of pyramid in your school. The main one is to engage and rejuvenate the customer. So we are doing that really in order to be cool, as I said, and to attract new customer with two main pillars. First, the chocolate, and then the cafe. The chocolate, why? Because the chocolate is like a perfect gift. Everybody loves food. It's Instagrammable, as the pastries we are doing in our coffee. This drives traffic in the stores. And this drives new customers, and particularly young customer. When you're a young customer, between 15 to 99, you can buy a chocolate for your mothers for Mother's Day or Valentine's or whatever. It's a first step into Louis Vuitton. So again, that we don't want to be a chocolate maker. It's not the aim of Louis Vuitton. We won't open any stores in Le Marais facing Alain Ducasse, facing Jean-Paul Evin or whatever. Every step of operations of hospitality are within our store. And this one mainly, it's to drive traffic into the store. So with attractive product, you drive traffic, and afterwards, if you're good, with your new clientele or with the existing one, you can convert into, again, selling bags, okay? Then, of course, we already have high customers, and when you're talking about hospitality, you also talk about gastronomy and high gastronomy. So we also display some place in which we have more refined places and higher gastronomy. This is more to also offer a global experience to our customer, and particularly VIC. And it's true that we already have 2 restaurants with 1 Michelin star. It was not the aim of doing that, but we are happy to have it and really proud. But that's the conclusion, the best example of the way we are doing things, and people who goes there are obviously richer than everybody here in the room, or maybe not, but I guess. And we offer them the highest experience in luxury because it's like a cross-match between the retail experience and the hospitality experience. And the case you will find there is really linked to that cross-match experience between retail and hospitality. So here is where we are now. The story started end of 22 for Louis Vuitton. We've opened in our headquarters in so a corner of Le Pont Neuf in Paris, in front of La Samaritaine. We've opened a place which was a trial at first, a 6 months pop-up, but still open now due to the success, that we call now a Mega Trio. Mega Trio is what? It's a place in which you have an exhibit to visit, a gift store, and a coffee. So it's a global experience, a trial at first. And the chocolate there was here because we've launched it in joint venture with Cheval Blanc, which is just in front. And the head pastry chef in Cheval Blanc was Maxime Frédéric, which was a young pastry chef at that time, but who is now the world best pastry chef. And is like Dada is to make chocolate. So we we made a chocolate store with him, and the success was that tremendous that we've sold in 3 weeks what we wanted to sell in 6 months. So the question first that how we can produce additional pieces, but then it was, is it a good way of maintaining the traffic we want to have in stores and to extend it. So the trial then was positive. We decided to extend the chocolate store all over the world. So now we have like 6 locations all over the world, 4 that are Maxime Frédéric. So we have in Singapore, in Seoul, in New York, and in Paris. But we did it with the DNA of Louis Vuitton. DNA of Louis Vuitton is what is made in France. So we could have done it by duplicating the way we did in Pont-Neuf, by asking a young pastry chef locally to make and to copy-paste, let's say, the chocolate of Maxime Frédéric locally. But we've decided to produce it in France and to export it all over the world. Then we have additional location. In total, we have 25 locations. So in 3 years, we've opened 25 different operations all over the world. So 6 chocolate, 12 coffee, and 7 restaurants that what we called one of a kind. One of a kind is like, in order to say it's more gastronomy, it's like a local specific restaurant made with a chef. I'm sure you've seen already, we didn't invent anything. I mean, it's really the trend with all our competitors to step a feet into the hospitality in order to extend again the experience. So Gucci has a cafe, Dior has cafe, Ralph Lauren, Hermes had, but it's a small thing, and it's really a trend that is going on. We didn't invent, but we are the, let's say, most advanced one, both in terms of the way we are doing it and also the numbers of operations. When you open a restaurant while you are a retailer, you have 2 possibilities. The first one is to sign a 3-star Michelin chef. Dior did it, for instance, with Anne-Sophie Pic. Quite a lot of people are doing it. Or you can do the way we did it. It's a bit to flip the model and to say you sign 2 mentors locally. So we've signed Arnaud Donquel, which is like 10 plus Michelin star, plus Maxime Frédéric, nearly as artistic directors. And they're here both as mentors and also in order to train and form, let's say, young local Top Chef star. If you know the TV show Top Chef in France, it's really like that. The aim is to find the right next star, but local, and then to make a link with our mentors. So we make them come with their brigade in our HQ. We train them to the way we want them to cook, meaning we have like special dishes, pillars that you can find in all our coffees. So a club sandwich, a lobster roll, a bit like a brasserie in France. You can find them in anywhere because we're French, so we export the French dishes. But then we have also local dishes that are made with their local taste and ideas, but managed and developed at 4 hands with the chef locally. So that's why we call it a culinary community, because at the end of the day, these menus all over the world are created through a community, and these dishes both are traveling, both make you travel, and the chefs also afterwards are traveling in order to make like special events at 4 hands in Bangkok with the chef of Japan coming, and so on and so on. well, we didn't do that for that, but we are proud to have like the result of the strategy with all these awards. So we have like two stars, first in Saint-Tropez and the second one in Chengdu. Chengdu is the one we like the most. Not because we don't like Saint-Tropez, but Saint-Tropez was made with Arnaud Donquel, so it's not that it's easy to have a star, but it's, let's say, quite normal. The one in Chengdu is exactly the result of the strategy and the culinary community, because it was a young local chef, even if it's Italian, he was working locally with no stars, and he won his first stars with us, so we are really proud, Leonardo Zambrino. And we have additional awards in restaurants, in everything. So this is just the result of a sign that we are going in the right way. Here is the culinary community, so you can see that with 25 operations, we have like quite a generous numbers of chefs to deal with. Mainly with quite a lot of operations in Asia, because it's also where our customers are the most present. And here are the different concepts. So I already told a bit about this concept. So the restaurant, the cafe, the chocolate, which is quite interesting also when you're looking at that chocolate. So the egg bag, which is really a copy-paste of an actual bag we have in Monogram, made by Nicolas Ghesquière in like 3-4 years ago, I don't remember. This one was the most popular view in Instagram last year for Louis Vuitton. So ahead of all the shows we've made, it was more than 4 million views. And it's just also an example of how the hospitality can attract and drive traffic. So both in the views, but also in the restaurant. And that's also why we are doing that. Again, we are not doing that in order to earn money. And to be honest, we are even losing money with the restaurant. And when you open, doing the thing we do with like expensive plates that are Louis Vuitton, expensive glasses, every expensive raw materials and everything, you can afford to have a P&L which is positive. But that's not the objective. The objective behind that is that we nearly had 1 million visitors in our places last year. If you just make the math between a certain percentage of conversion times the average basket per customer, you can imagine the additional customer it can drive. So, and that's why we are going also to your case, which is how to measure the result of the hospitality in terms of cross-link between the hospitality and the retail part. So it's yes, an additional turnover that we can't measure yet, and you are here to do that. But it's also a real save in terms of communication, because we are quite lucky. We are doing pastries, we are doing chocolate, we are doing nice dishes and everything. People are coming to our restaurant, and people are communicating for us, and they are paying for that. So it's not even a save into communications. We are not paying for this communication. It's also a win in terms of turnover on the other side. So we are really having that mind that it's a tool of communication. And the last point, it's, as I said, you've seen the luxury cafe with all the books. You may see in the picture also the way we are displaying the dishes and the menu. It's all in the LV plates. So it's also a way of communicating our savoir-faire of tableware, and therefore also create desirability to buy this product afterwards. So that's examples of chocolate. A nice example of the culinary community here, and linking also with travel. So the DNA of Louis Vuitton. This Charlotte was made first in Paris and then developed locally, but with local ingredients, and is now traveling. So you can make like standards traveling all over the world. Same for the ravioli, invented in Elvedrim, but then duplicated all over the world, in Shanghai, in Milano, of course, and in Seoul. You have here what I've talked about. Sorry, it's not in the order I've talked, but you have here all the videos, and just to show you that it's not, we are not like the first one to do that, and we are not the only one, of course, but as you can see in the numbers of operation, we are really ahead of everybody and quicker than everybody. So as I said, we have like 27 figures at the end of the year. So you're quite lucky because you know already our roadmap for this year. So it's true that we will open a new place, different new places in Hong Kong at the end of the year. We are working on it right now. So a chocolate shop and a luxury cafe. And we also have already operations in Bangkok that we will revamp this year. So we have 7 chocolate shops at the end of the year and 20, let's say, cafe or restaurant, whatever. Just for your knowledge, the different places in which we are. So you have Saint-Tropez, 1 star, open from May to October, run by Arnaud Donquel and Maxime Frédéric. You have an example of the one specific dish that is displayed there, and you have in back from the tableware that is used and sell also on the store next to the cafe. Of course, you have Paris. Maybe some of you have been there. If not, please go there. It's really a nice place, particularly in the afternoon or even in like early evening, because you have the sunset and the Eiffel Tower in the background. I mean, maybe it's the best view in Paris for a cafe. US, with the example of the cafe. Milano, we have 2 places there. One cafe with the Verrières over there. That will be Milano, and it's also nice because there's a link between Polimi, one of the pilot of the case. So it's a nice place to visit, and we have also a restaurant there. We have an operation in Taormina, more aperitivo in a rooftop with the sea view. It's true we have operations in airport. So we have here a place in Heathrow. Osaka, which was really the first one in 2021. So I lied a bit when I said to you the story started in 2022. But this is really a very, very, very small place, an hidden place. I mean, you can't book like that. It's like a hidden restaurant that only the one who knows goes. Chengdu. So with the dish we think makes us earn the star. The Louis, I'm sure in Shanghai, I'm sure you've all seen in the social media that boat, and the restaurant there is just at the deck of the boat. Beijing, we've opened it end of last year in a famous, beautiful store. Seoul, we've opened like 4 restaurants there, 3 restaurants there last year in LVMS, in our maison, and in the Reserve in Seoul. Doha also in the airport, not working that much this lastly, and Bangkok. So the case. Before you read, I just mention one thing. So as I said, we're not a chocolate maker, we're not restaurant maker, we don't want to be there. I mean, we don't want to hire cooks, chefs, whatever. And that's the first time for Louis Vuitton. Normally, one particularity and one pillar for Louis Vuitton is the verticality. You may have already done a case study about Louis Vuitton, but one typical thing is that everything in Louis Vuitton is vertical. You can't find any products Louis Vuitton outside of a store. It's every product is sold in a store, except the second hand, of course. It's going to the store through our warehouses. It's made in our factories. Everything is vertical. From the factory to the store, everything is made in Louis Vuitton, except the hospitality. And that's the first time, and that's also the tricky part, and where it comes also to the business case. We are giving, let's say, the image of Louis Vuitton to a third-party operator. So in all of our places of operation, everything is run by a third party with who we are contracting. So after that, there's commission, blah, blah, blah. But it's not Louis Vuitton who is making the place, but it's Louis Vuitton who is like selecting the management, selecting the chef, of course, developing the plates. So we've hired one savory chef and one pastry chef, but that's all. We call them pastry flying chef because they're always in the plane all over the world in order to train the people, to develop new dishes and everything, and to check the quality. But it's true that at the end of the day, the servers, the waitress, the cooks, everybody is not Louis Vuitton. It's a third-party operator. They're coming in the store with their POS, so with their management system. It's them who are making the sales. It's them who are managing the booking system. So it's them who are having the client data. And that's where you come into the game. It's how, with all the legal constraints we have, because when you, customer, give your data, you accept to give the data, but you accept to give the data to someone, and obviously the one you are going to. You don't accept to give the data to Louis Vuitton, in fact, really. Maybe unconsciously you say yes to Louis Vuitton, but in real and legally speaking, you are not doing that way. So how can Louis Vuitton still measure its performance in terms of hospitality without having data, or how Louis Vuitton can get the data? That's nearly let's say, the spirit of the case you have. It's not just about data, it's also about human processes, because there will be like key thing to understand and key organization to understand within the store of how hospitality can be a lever to enhance at the end of the day the retail part. How do you measure the cross-merge between people that are coming into hospitality but that are new to Louis Vuitton, and do these people convert after that into a bags? How many? Who are they? Are they young, more female, male, I don't know, more Asian, more Americans? All this kind of thing will be really interesting for us to have. So it's true we are like still having a bit of data, sometimes a bit illegally, let's say in discussion with our operators. But your real case will be there. Maybe I can read it. So Louis Vuitton as a global leader in high-end fashion and lifestyle, it's always good to say that. So to transform its in-store hospitality experience into a strategic customer relationship management lever. In fact, it's the aim of doing the hospitality. And it's really why we are doing that. With flagship stores in Milan and New York City, which will be your case pilot study operated by third-party partners, we faced the challenge of personalizing customer interactions while ensuring RGPD compliance in data collections and usage. Okay? So really, what we want to have at the end is something like that, meaning we have a certain number of bookings. We want to understand if the people who are doing the bookings are already LV or not. So of course, we have all our database, we know our customer, everything, but how can we have like some data in order to mix with our database and to, after that, analyze all the data? So we want to understand how the visits into the cafe generates future prospect and future customer. That's really the first study we did in New York, so I don't give you the figures. It's not interesting. So we have like a certain number of customers from the opening. We have a certain number into the store, so we measure people who are entering the store, like every retailer. We have a certain number of booking. We know how much of them are, I don't know, American, European, blah, 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 but we know how much of them are already LV customer. And after that, we can measure how do they purchase. So we have 50% of new customer, X% of them are buying a product after that. And by the way, they are buying more than a normal new customer to Louis Vuitton. And that's what we measured. In fact, it's like in these places, the people that are really transforming the test and buy products Louis Vuitton at the end of the day are buying more than normal new customer. Because these people are maybe richer, because they are attracted, I don't know, by additional things. But that's really what we want to measure. Antoine, you want to speak a bit on that or not?
Yeah, just to, I think not going too much into details on that one. It's a very interesting project. It's very pluridisciplinary. It's about, depending on your expertise, it can be about data. It can be, so if you're an engineer, for instance, it can also be about the client journey, like what happens if you're a client, you go to the restaurant, then you go to the store, like what are your touch points with LV and how do you feel during each touch point. You can also study the staff journey, because we have, of course, a lot of people working at Vuitton. So what are their touch base with the clients, with IT tool, and so voilà. I wanted to say it's really pluridisciplinary and interesting, and we are not looking just on the data technical solution, but also at what could be the customer journey and the LV staff journey overall.
Thank you. So really, I insist the answer and the spectrum of your analysis is not just about data. Of course, there's a part of data, how to get data, what are the organization in place right now. There's the understanding of the booking system, the data into the booking system, how do we measure, how are the rules and the legal rules regarding that. We know them, but we let you also have a deep dive into it. That's a first point. And that will lead to the measure of the result of hospitality. But also, the second part of the case is really how to make hospitality a lever to the retail afterwards. So really, how do we make links between the hospitality and the retail? And that's not data, that's human after nearly. So you need to understand, maybe I will give you also, or we can organize, of course we are here for you for any questions, we will dedicate time for you, and we will also give you names of people into the stores in order for you maybe to, or for us to organize like either a meeting, you can go there. If it's well organized, I mean, people will be very welcome to, very pleased to welcome you. Or to make a Zoom, we can think of some things. After that, it's also why we are giving you that case. We are not doing anything. We are already working on the data. It's long. As I said, we have third-party operators, and we have as many as we have operation places in the world. So in total, we have like 14 or 15 different operators, which is 14 or 15 different management system. 14, 15 different reservation system, everything. So Antoine, which is there, is like his red thread since a year and a half. He will continue, he will work on it, he will do something, I'm sure he's great. But you are also there to think out of the box, because there might be something that are not just technical and IT and other things, ways of getting data. Be clever. There's like plenty of ways of how to engage people. If you were a customer, what makes you like give your data when you are going to a cafe? Not just by the booking system, but by the wish to have something more. Okay? Je crois que c'est tout. Yeah. Do you have any questions?
Something.
Yeah, I know. I was the same. Huh?
Yes, I'm gonna bring you the mic.
I have a question about how we should see the data collection. Does Louis Vuitton only, the data only belongs to Louis Vuitton, or can it belongs to LVMH group? For example, if you buy from Dior, do you allow your data to also go to Louis Vuitton? Or
that's a good question. It's not a wish of Louis Vuitton or Dior. It's really a legal constraint and RGPD case. So you can't give your data to anybody else. Of course, you have like in the dark web or whatever, like a market around that. But like on the normal live, you are not allowed to give. Even if you are part of a group, it's still different maison.
GDPR, I would add, is really the main constraint for this project. And another constraint is the scalability of the solution you will imagine, because of course we have a 27 operation, as Edouard mentioned. So the solution you will imagine will need to be both GDPR compliant and scalable at a large level, including different countries and different regulations.
The simplest solution we are working it is through the booking system. First, in order to homogenize the booking system, so to have one global booking system in order to be like stronger to speak to the booking system manager and to ask him to, let's say, display something in order to allow Louis Vuitton or allow the customer to be okay to give its data to Louis Vuitton. So that's something we will do. That will take some time. But that's something we will do, and in that case, you are compliant with the RGPD, and you can share between the operator and you the data. But the customer is aware that he's giving both to the operator and the customer the data.
Okay, first of all, thank you so much for your presentation. I just have a question regarding what is exactly what you're going to value, like how we collect the data or the originality of the customer journey, or like, yeah, I just wanted to know like what are the areas you're going to focus more in terms of valuing our work. Thank you.
I don't have a precise answer of like how much points I don't know are for that thing or not, but I think the out-of-the-box solution is the one I would look to. Like my preference will be something we didn't think.
And maybe also the solution that is a more 360, meaning involving the client,
Yeah.
the staff, and also consistent with the technical framework we provided.
Yeah, I have another question. So, as you discussed, like question before, that you are working on a solution from the booking system side, and apparently, what kind of data, like if you are already working on that solution, is there any sort of, I would say, data which you're lacking? And which would, if we try to work on those kind of data or those sort of information, then probably we could add more value to your existing solution.
Sorry, you mean like the precise type of data we collect, right?
Yes.
Yes, but it's basic like personal information, so really subject to GDPR, so name, surname, phone number. And what's interesting is that, of course, at Vuitton, so I mean the rest of Vuitton, not hospitality, we have a big CRM solution that is Salesforce that you see here, that is already a big database with with many information on many people, and just with a few information from booking system, we can recognize the person in Salesforce, and there, if it's a Vuitton client, we have many more information, like his purchase history, nationality, anything.
Idea is like double. The first one is like a macro view. Already, if we have that, we are happy. First, to know if they are existing customer or not. So that's like, we don't want to see it's Madame X or Mr. Y. We don't care. It's like how are they new or not? Are they, I don't know, young, old, male, female? Already when you have that, you can measure quite things and you can compare to other categories in Louis Vuitton. Then the second one is how you can use this data in order to do CRM and to make them transform their trial into the hospitality if they are new to LV, in order to propose them a meeting with a client advisor, exhibition, events, to make them come again.
So if in this case, if there is already a solution which you are working on, so I believe our task would be more towards what else we can take in terms of data, and probably what kind of analysis we could add on.
Yeah, you can propose that's really interesting, your question. You can propose like angle of analysis with the data already we have. What can we have and what can be interesting to understand, and what can it lead to in terms of actions afterwards. But you can also, so that's through the booking system. And again, I insist on the out-of-the-box thing, is without the booking system, how can you do also? The data after that, it's, let's say, secondary. If you ask for, I don't know, if he has a pet or whatever, really, it's the way of collecting first. The out-of-the-box thing is how can you get and make them engage.
So to convert, basically, as you said, hospitality to retail.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Or
Thank you.
retail to hospitality, it can be both, but that thing, I guess we already have the data of the actual customers, and we already reached them to make them come to the hospitality.
Okay, thank you.
We provided these technical solutions just so you have a framework, but of course it can be something else.
Hello, thank you for your time. I have two questions. First one is more related to the business case, in particular to the New York case. So how did you understand that the new clients already visited the cafe at this bigger sales during their first visit? It was exposed, so you ask in the store and then match the data with the booking system, or how did you do?
In fact, first we had the data of the booking system, knowing if they are new or not. For the one who were new, they created in order to buy, generally the first time you buy, you give your data. And then you can compare.
Match.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can match, and then you can compare to former new customer that were not into the hospitality. You can compare them.
Okay.
You can analyze what they bought, and then you can summarize everything and make a comparison between.
So you don't have a specific question for new clients when entering
No,
the
it's just like the creation.
Okay.
You get all that data with the names and everything. You put it through the filter of your existing database. You know who is existing, who is not.
Okay.
The one who are not. So you have an amount, and after that amount, you have some of them that are creating a new file, buying to Louis Vuitton, and then you can analyze their data.
Okay.
But there's two ways here. This one is quite simple, and again, we will have them. But the missing part, it's also there. We want you to think about how to reach that missing part to make them after that convert.
Yes, okay, perfect. And another one, more generic, just to understand the business model, because you mentioned that now you are trying to hire new chef and to promote them in some sense. But in Milan, Cerea brothers are famous and already star chef. So how
But
does it fit?
That's the two food strategies. So you remember you have the cafe, and it's in this place which are the most number of operation. We have like 12. In this place, it's young chef star, and in one of a kind. So one of a kind, it's like Saint-Tropez, like David Torrio also. It's like existing chefs. So, for instance, in Seoul, we have that restaurant that opened in November, which is a GP Park at Louis Vuitton. So all these one of a kind is like the name of the chef at Louis Vuitton. So Arnaud Donquel at Louis Vuitton, Maxime Frédéric at Louis Vuitton, GP Park at Louis Vuitton, Dave at Louis Vuitton. This speaks, it's a one of a kind and it's more elevated.
Okay.
That's why. And after that, specifically, it's true that for Milano, as we have
Milano
already,
also,
there's two places in the same place,
Exactly.
and it's the same operator. But it's
okay.
not.
Okay, because in Milan also the cafe is handled by the Vittorio.
The pastries are made in their factory.
It's
Thank
more
you.
for a simplicity factor.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Hi, thank you guys for being here. I have a question when it comes to scalability itself. So right now we're focusing on New York and Milan, and just from assumptions, I can assume that the data laws themselves are different between the EU and the Americas. When we're looking at all the locations globally, has there been a pain point of any country so far that we should also focus on so we can make sure that our solution is valuable in the long term?
That could be nice to have, but
Okay.
it can also be a nightmare for you, because it's already a nightmare for us. China rules, Korean rules, everything. No, it's focus, and that's why also we are really insisting on to just not focusing on the data, but the out-of-the-box system or idea that can be like more relevant and more scalable than just the data in which you already face some constraint. Because in China, you can't even get the data.
Right.
Or let's say you can get the data, you can analyze it locally, we can have summaries sent by the zone, but we can't have them back, the data. So that's lose of time.
Okay, thank you.
Makes me think that even in the US there is a specific regulation on that. So let's see who finds out.
Okay. Do we have any other questions? Anyone? That's us for now. We are definitely going to think about the case and for sure have much more questions after. But we would really like to thank you for this fantastic presentation and for giving us
Thank you.
For giving us this exceptional case. So thank you very much for taking the time and presenting in person. If you're okay with us, dear students and dear guests, we can go out of the room now and talk a little bit more freely with each other. Thank you so much.
It's all about groove, it's all about feel, it's all about trying to find something real. People tell me that I'm crazy. Well, maybe I'd rather be crazy than just lazy. I sail a ship across the sky. If I could tell you why it's all about truth and not about gain, it's all about chasing down that final train. People tell me life ain't easy. Well, it could be. Open up your mind and rise above. You'll see it's all about love. So I'm gonna live until my dying day. Ain't nobody gonna take my blues away. You'd sooner take away my soul. Ask me to dance, but don't push and shove. Don't you know it's all about love? It's all about groove, it's all about feel, it's all about trying to find something real. People tell me that I'm crazy. Well, maybe I'd rather be crazy than just lazy. I sail a ship across the sky. If I can tell you why, it's all about truth and not about gain. It's all about chasing down the final train. People tell me life ain't easy. Well, it could be. Open up your mind and rise above. You'll see it's all about love. So I'm gonna live until my dying day. Ain't nobody gonna take my blues away. You'd sooner take away my soul. Ask me to dance, but don't push and shove. Don't you know? It's all about love. It's all about love. It's all about love. It's all about love.